COVID relief legislation in an effort to advance their extreme left-wing agenda and influence the election. Then, a few months ago, Congress started negotiations on a new package to get urgently needed help to the American people. It's taken forever. However, the bill they are now planning to send back to my desk is much different than anticipated. It really is a disgrace. For example, among the more than 5,000 pages in this bill, which nobody in Congress has read because of its length and complexity, it's called the COVID relief bill, but it has almost nothing to do with COVID. This bill contains $85.5 million for assistance to Cambodia, $134 million to Burma, $1.3 billion for Egypt.
It's an omnibus. Of course it has, like, by the way, he's right. He's right. But also there's a reason why those things are in the package. But oh my God.
And the Egyptian military, which will go.
Of course he's not going to mention Israel. Get the fuck out of here. Just like he didn't mention the UAE either. Because, you know, he did those deals. Those were his deals.
Out and buy almost exclusively Russian military equipment. $25 million for democracy and gender programs in Pakistan. $505 million to Belize, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Panama.
If he wraps this up by saying, I'm going to fucking veto this if they don't send a bill back with $1,200 in personal and individual checks, Georgia is one. The American people will say Donald Trump should have been president again. He's just like, oh no, dude, if he asks for more money in personal, if he asks for more money, the Democrats are so done. They're so done. It's so bad. Oh,
God. $40 million for the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., which is not even open for business. $1 billion for the Smithsonian, and an additional $154 million for the National Gallery of Art. Likewise, these facilities are essentially not open. $7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp, $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico, a provision to promote the breeding of fish in federal hatcheries, $3 million in poultry production technology, $2 million to research the...
Wait, why is he mad at some of this shit? Like, okay, some of this is like unironically not a bad thing. It's just like, it's helping out industries. Now he's just like shitting on fishers for no reason. And all it yeah, some of these industries fucking suffered. Some of these industries fucking suffered during the COVID crisis. The arts absolutely do deserve funding. Sorry, it's just the fucking truth. I get the foreign spending is just basically American global. The foreign spending stuff is just like CIA ops, basically. Okay, it's unironically just like, you know, giving money to Pakistan and all these other countries. Like, all that stuff is just America doing America, and you absolutely could be spending that on American citizens. I do not disagree with that at all. But when he starts talking about fucking like carp fishing and shit like that, I'm like, what do you want? Like, yeah, that's are we just holding up the fishing industry against everything is CIA? Nice tanky take. Yes, dude. Foreign aid is not a part of our fucking State Department, soft power strategy. You are so correct, dude. American. What did I say? I said literal American global hegemonic power shit, giving money to fucking Pakistan and shit. That's literally what we do. That's why we do it. Like, calling me a fucking tanky. Jesus Christ. the veto will probably get fucking clapped back because it's a veto-proof majority, so it doesn't even matter. But the fact that like he is saying all this, stop saying on pause. I'm a political commentator. You're here for the commentary. You fucking bitches.
Impact of down trees. $566 million for construction projects at the FBI. The bill also allows stimulus checks for the family members of illegal aliens, allowing them to get up to $1,800 each.
Why is my heart rate dropping when I yell? What the fuck? What is going on? Holy shit. Wait, that's so weird.
6.
Why is my heart rate getting better when I'm yelling? Oh.
This is far more than the Americans are given. Despite all of this wasteful spending and much more, the $900 billion package provides hardworking taxpayers with only $600 each in relief payments. And not enough money is given to small businesses, and in particular restaurants, whose owners have suffered so grievously.
Meow.
They were only given a deduction for others to use in business their restaurant for 2 years. This 2-year period must be withdrawn, which will allow the owners to obtain financing and get their restaurants back in condition. Congress can terminate it at a much later date, but 2 years is not acceptable. It's not enough. Congress found plenty of money for foreign countries, lobbyists, and special interests, while sending the bare minimum to the American people who need it. It wasn't their fault. It was China's fault, not their fault. I am asking Congress to amend this bill and increase the ridiculously low $600 to $2,000 or $4,000 for a couple. I'm also asking Congress to immediately get rid of the wasteful and unnecessary items from this legislation and to send me a suitable bill, or else the next administration will have to deliver a COVID relief package, and maybe that administration will be me, and we will get it done. Thank you very much.
That's insane. That's insane.
Happy holidays.
Why is he still gifting? I don't understand why he's still giving gifts to the Republicans after they fucked him over and like wouldn't fight for him. I don't get it. I guess maybe because his like desperation for love and affection that he wants from the Republicans outweighs, like the Republican voters outweighs his pettiness, I guess. Now, all of this is great, but why didn't he do this during negotiations? Mnuchin was his guy at the table. Why didn't he speak up? A total failure on his part, and the Democrats not using his tweets to pressure Republicans? Yeah. What have I been fucking saying, ladies and gentlemen? Nancy Pelosi allowed this to happen. She allowed this to happen by not constantly pitting Donald Trump against Mitch McConnell by saying Donald Trump even wants it. Why did she do that? Because she didn't want Donald Trump to get reelected. Okay? Do you regret the Biden vote now? No, man. He is a psycho, dude. He doesn't give a shit. How do you blame the Democrats when the Senate pushed for this?
Get back, bitches.
It's probably a cover for the pardons, I assume. Because there's a bunch of new pardons just dropped, bro. He fucking pardoned Papadopoulos.
Hassle.
New pardons just dropped, fresh off the presses. Extra, extra. Read all about it. Donald Trump pardons George Papadopoulos, who served 12 days in jail for lying to the FBI about his contacts with Russian intermediaries during the 2016 presidential race. He also pardoned U.S. service members who were convicted of killing Iraqi civilians while working as contractors in 2007.
Plus, use my Bezos.
Nicholas Slatton had been sentenced to life in prison after the Justice Department had gone to great lengths to prosecute him. He was a contractor for Blackwater, and he is one of the people that killed the 17 Iraqi civilians in the Nisor Square in Baghdad. It is the reason why Blackwater had to change its name, by the way. Remember, part of the reason why Blackwater had to be Academy or the fucking like pyramid symbol or whatever was literally because of this, because it was a stain on their reputation. It's one of the worst war crimes. For those of you who are unfamiliar, this is one of the worst, most gruesome fucking war crimes because it's so direct. It's so personal. The three former members of Congress who were pardoned by Mr. Trump are Duncan Hunter. If you remember Duncan Hunter, he's the fucking video game Andy. He's the gamer bro, vape bro, who took campaign funds and like purchased V-Bucks and shit. He pardoned Chris Collins of New York and Steve Stockman of Texas. Mr. Hunter was going to go to prison for 11 months for misusing campaign funds. Mr. Collins is an early endorser of Mr. Trump, and he was serving a 26-month sentence after pleading guilty to 2019 to charges of making false statements to the FBI and conspiring to commit securities fraud. You know, real populism shit, by the way. You know, real man of the people. When you let out your homies who fucking, you know, supported you early. Yeah, Mr. Stockman was convicted on charges of fraud and money laundering and was serving a 10-year sentence. He also granted full pardons to two former Border Patrol agents whose sentences for their roles in the shooting of an alleged drug trafficker had previously been commuted by President George W. Bush. The pardons are not likely to be the last before Mr. Trump leaves the office on January 20th. Remember, my man also rushed the execution, like followed through on the execution of someone who was convicted on with a death penalty for a crime that he was a part of, for a gruesome murder of a white couple in Texas when he was fucking 18 years old. And he had the power to fucking pardon him. Everyone on that case was asking for Brandon Bernard to be pardoned, or at least to have his execution rejected or his sentence to be commuted. And they said, fuck off. And so remember, justice is only served for Donald Trump and his homies. That's the only time he has a understanding approach.
Can the pardon to be tried again, or is that it? They're free to go.
While he was doing all these pardons, he didn't fucking pardon Assange. His administration and the next administration will probably continue to prosecute Julian Assange as well. So, good stuff. Yeah, Trump pardons for whites only. I just hope he pardons Assange still. It's delusional to cling on to hope, but that's all we got.
Happy holidays.
Damn, I really needed some money. Yeah. He did not pardon ASAP Rocky. Tell me. Anyway. And now he is threatening to veto a bill by claiming it's because the number of the individual help, the individual direct payments to American citizens is not high enough. The reality is that's not, like, if he genuinely wanted you to have more money, he would have fought harder for it when he was fucking president. before the election, and he didn't do that. And the reason why he didn't do that is because he's full of shit. Doesn't give a fuck about you getting a lot more money. But it doesn't matter. It's a brilliant move because ultimately it'll get dumbasses riled up. It'll get the fucking stupid post-left dipshits who say stuff like, oh, Republicans sure are, or Trump sure is on the side of, the working class and shit like that after he pardoned people for committing securities fraud. All of those idiots will fucking get up and say, oh my God, Trump is really the working class guy, huh? The lines are changing. Now, having said that, though, 2K, fine, take it. He knows full well, very likely, that it's not going to get vetoed. Or it doesn't matter. It's veto proof. Okay? That even if you throw it back to Congress, it's still going to get passed. They'll override it. 2K a month? No, just one 2K direct payment.
Brown shirts with these Blackwater pardons.
Again, though, remember, if he actually wanted to do that, he would have done it when he had more power and more influence. What did he do instead? He pushed the conversations aside, said he would renegotiate after he was reelected, and said that appointing Amy Coney Barrett was more important. So don't forget that shit, okay? Do not forget that. So it's not honest.
I am Albanian. I don't know what we're talking about.
His plan is just to do his best to keep his base and run it again in 2024. Yeah. Having said that, though, this is great. Look, if I was a Republican, I'd be jerking off to this.
How many bands for y'all to let me do a coup?
This is so good. So good. If you're a Republican, this is great.
By the GOP.
Trump calling for more money and direct relief after Pelosi called it significant is exactly the kind of outmaneuvering and messaging that has characterized the Dems versus GOP dynamics for far too long. It's pitiful. Yep. Nancy Pelosi looks like the bad guy, even though she's the one who is, even though the Democrats were the ones who were pushing for higher direct payments. Now Donald Trump looks like the brilliant hero of the working class. Yup. Couldn't Dems use this as leverage to not override the veto and actually give 2K? No, because then he's gonna. That's why he added the fucking fishery shit in there. So that even if they increase the 2K direct payments shit, then he would be like, well, there's so much money in the special interest. Why are we giving money to Pakistan? Notice how he didn't say Israel, by the way. Notice how he didn't say fucking UAE, by the way. The reason why he didn't say that, because despite the fact that we are giving 500 million to Israel and I think 1.5 billion to UAE for missile systems, the reason why he didn't mention that shit is because he likes that. He likes that money. The reason he's the one who fucking executed that deal. Either the big 180 from earlier. You ain't talking shit about Israel, buddy. What do you mean? There's also 1.8, I think, billion.
What happens when you give
for the wall? Why didn't he say that?
He gets taller.
Why didn't he mention the fucking wall? How's that relevant to fucking COVID? Huh? Anyway, the point is he hit that fucking special interest shit. He hit that special interest line so that even if they increase the $2,000 direct payments, he can still turn around and be like, I'm still vetoing it because of all the special interests. Okay? Yeah. Tax breaks for horse owners. Yeah, I mean, there's fucked up shit in there. Anyway, but if the working class let themselves get fooled like this, why do they deserve better? What are you, a fucking asshole, dude?
Free Palestine.
Doesn't matter how stupid your fucking fellow man is. You're still trying to do what's right by them, right? What are you, some kind of fucking Nazi, dude? You want to do some fucking eugenics, dude? While you're at it?
Pause the video.
Oh, if people are stupid, you shouldn't advocate for their best interest. Good take, dude. Well, that's a pretty stupid take. So I guess in that future that you created for yourself, you would also be biomatter.
Hassel Bezos can't stop me with the $10
Fuck?
tier ones for Australia.
What kind of fucking elitist master race horseshit was that? Yeah, okay. Sarah
Daddy
Palin is
Hasan,
calling
I
for
love
Julian
you.
Assange to be fucking freed or pardoned. By the way, the money allocated regarding fish in the bill was to stop the spread of invasive fish species in our waterways. It's just Trump's stand against environmentalism. He already has the backing of big, beautiful fishermen. Yeah, because big, beautiful fishermen are big, beautiful boaters. Anyway.
What happened to fiscal conservatism? Rand
How do you
Paul
think
was
it's gonna
out there
affect the
yesterday
Georgia
saying, "I
races?"
Can't afford more," showed Pikachu face.
How this affects the Georgia races is entirely dependent on how the Democrats maneuver around this messaging. And looking at past Democratic messaging, it will probably not be maneuvered effectively. It will probably be maneuvered in the most idiotic way possible. And ultimately, they will not be able to get their message across. It's very stupid. They should be turning around and being like, oh, really? You want 2K? Let's do it. The people that are stopping us from doing 2K are people like, yeah, Purdue said he was against it originally. The people who are stopping us from giving even 1.2K are the Republicans. Elect Democrats and you get 2K, baby. But they're not going to do that. They are going to come across like fucking assholes. They are going to come across like people who are saying, shut the fuck up about the $600. That's enough for you.
Free Palestine.
So get excited for that one. Anyway. Ossoff did say 600 is a joke on the news today. Good. That should be the main campaign. Make it easy. Make it easy for people to understand. Hey, we want you to get 2K, bitch. The Dems are already yelling at Trump on Twitter, calling him a traitor for not signing the bill. Oh, fuck me, dude. Yeah, here's what Democrats are going to do. They're going to say the most psychotic, idiotic takes on the planet. They're going to say stuff like, sir, actually, Venezuela desperately needs the $130 million in democracy promotion, and you're holding that up right now. They're going to say stuff like, oh, Trump is so stupid. This is a veto-proof bill. Anyway, it doesn't matter. La, la, la. Like, they're going to say idiotic shit. Instead, they should say, we want 2K. We've been wanting 2K. The only reason why you don't get 2K is because of Republicans. And they would have a lot better of a chance of saying that if they had fucking set the groundwork for that message. They should have set the groundwork for that message months ago. They should have months ago been saying, Republicans are the gridlock. Republicans are the reason for the gridlock. Republicans are the reason for the gridlock. Instead of saying, 1.8 billion is not enough, or 1.8 trillion is not enough, and then fucking buckling for 900 billion, which is half of that, by the way, for those of you who don't know how to do math. I know the reasons why Nancy Pelosi said 1.8 trillion is not enough. I understand it, and there was never a 1.8 trillion deal anyway. There was never that deal. Mitch McConnell said there is no $1.8 trillion deal. There's only a $500 billion deal. But it doesn't fucking matter. Because in the eyes of dummies, Nancy Pelosi said no to 1.8 trillion and then told you to fucking eat cake. Okay? If you don't have bread, then why don't you eat cake? That's precisely what Nancy Pelosi looks like right now. $600 is enough. Shut the fuck up. They should just hire you for all their marketing. Please, Nancy, do something useful. No, I'm not good at marketing either. Like, I'm not. And lastly, like, they can't hire me for marketing. They can't even have me on their fucking streams that I set up
work, man.
for you know, their Georgia Senate races. So, like, who the fuck's having me for marketing? They don't like my worldview. So you did defend Pelosi for that decision, though, right? Just curious. I get it if it's entirely a political move. The reason why I said what I said about Nancy Pelosi back then was because so many fucking idiots were saying, we're making it seem like Mitch McConnell was interested in a $1.8 trillion deal when Mitch McConnell literally said there is no $1.8 trillion deal. Just curious, by the way. Well, there was none. There was no $1.8 trillion fucking deal at that point. Mitch McConnell openly said there is no $1.8 trillion deal. And people were acting like it's Nancy Pelosi's fucking fault. You're saying Dems should just lie just to beat Republicans instead of exposing Dems for not wanting progress? Wait, what? Lie to beat up Republicans? What the fuck do you mean? So stop caping for the DNC. They don't care about people either. When the fuck have I ever fucking caped for the DNC or even said that Democrats care about the people? What? Democrats are just like, dude, how many, even the liberals, like, even the fucking liberals are acting up right now because they know that I fucking yell about the Democrats all day, every day. Like, you just lost the radical liberals, dude.
I'm Israeli and I hate my country's government and army. It all went down from November 4th, 1995 Sag. By the way, do everyone who spam Free Palestine actually have a legit solution?
So, Chad's point was that Pelosi's stance was terrible optics by making the focus on her instead of McConnell. She totally could have exploited the rift between Trump and McConnell. Well, I said that too.
Hi, Hassan, I'm back after
I've been saying that. I've been saying that even before the fake $1.8 trillion deal. I've been saying that for fucking months. That Democrats should have made direct cash payments and a necessary stimulus the only conversation that they're talking about. The only thing that they should have been talking about for months, not like before the election, but for months, was how Republicans are the ones who are stopping stimulus that even Trump knows the American people need. Even people around him, the economists around Donald Trump, believe that the people need stimulus immediately. Okay? You understand? Okay, dude, Chad, I'm gonna start banning you guys. I don't know what the fuck I don't know what this like. I don't know what's going on with the like Zionist donor or some shit. Like, chill the fuck out. We're talking about something entirely different right now. Please.
Beso bucks, baby.
Like the fucking Cash App shit from yesterday. Why is it that every time I yell, my heart rate goes down? This is very weird. Anyway, so The point I'm trying to make
Happy
here.
6 months, boo. Your hair looks excellent today, Peepo kiss.
The point I'm trying to make here that is deeply frustrating is that we are very bad. We are very, very bad at messaging in the Democratic Party. Wait, Austin, aren't you supposed to be streaming with them right now? What happened? Why are you in here?
Chatter, the answer is a one-state solution, one fully equal state between the river and the sea. One person, one vote for all. To the previous Dono, please understand we already have a one-state solution. Let's make it an equal society.
I think more so Nancy was throwing all her chips on the table. I think she genuinely thought the Dems would take more House Senate seats to pass the election. 1.8 trillion would have forced McConnell to the negotiation table. It fucked everything up. No, it wouldn't have. No, it wouldn't have. Mitch McConnell would have easily said no, just like he had all this time. You guys are crazy for saying Mitch McConnell was actually fucking going to be forced to do anything. The only reason why Mitch McConnell allowed this deal to happen is because we saw what was going on in Georgia. Democrats started using the $1,200 in direct cash payments as a talking point in Georgia, and the Georgia race is like within a margin of error. So they turned around and they were like, all right, we got to fix this. Boom. All of a sudden, you have no longer gridlock in Congress. Anyway. Wait, I'm playing with Ossoff and Warnock? I don't know who you're playing with, Austin. Go hype up Reverend Raphael Warnock. If the Dems are going to continue to pretend to give a shit, they could at least put a bit of effort into trying to be good at it. Voters won't remember this in 2024. That's why I said... That's why I said I don't understand why Donald Trump is doing this. Like, I guess maybe to fucking throw off the scent from his pardons. Maybe he's doing it because maybe he's doing it to throw off the scent from the pardons. Maybe he's doing it because he wants to give a final gift to the Republican Party or something. I don't fucking know. I really don't understand it. It makes no sense because he votes this in, doesn't matter. He fucking doesn't vote this, doesn't matter. Nothing changes. He'll just get I guess he'll get more love from the base. He'll get more love from his base, but that's it. Wait, Austin, you want to call in? No, you can't call in right now. I gotta cook. So I'm gonna go back to React Randall stuff now that I'm done with this. I'm starving, unless you want to talk to the chat on your own. If you miss chat, but I gotta go fire up the grill, you know what I'm saying? Check on Miss Powell. Check on Miss Powell, please.